is a default message for all the movies I make. I basically am trying to say that you should watch everything before coming to a conclusion or making any judgments or ridicule or praise, or basically see all before commenting via video or text. I don't want to prematurely affect anyone's judgment on text. They might read the text and not watch the movie. Before coming to conclusions, that is how ignorant and judgmental people are. It's just a wise thing to do. To watch something before, to watch every angle, to listen to everything somebody has to say before you ridicule or praise them. If you don't know what they say, you can't comment on it. It's just a wise, intelligent thing to do. So I ask you to watch everything, no matter how long it is. If it's an hour, if I break it up into 25-minute parts and different parts, or if it's one long hour movie, just watch it all. Because you're doing me or you're doing yourself a disservice. Both. You're doing me and yourself a disservice if you don't watch everything. Thanks. I appreciate it. Free Your Mind and Mentality, edition 42. This is about Alexandra Wallace. A lot of these comments, I'm watching a bunch of YouTube movies. There's this particular guy that acts black, African American, and Caucasian. And he's Asian, and he sounds so cocky on here. I believe he removed a lot of my comments. I had to log in to see my own comments, or some glitch on YouTube, but that's another story. I gotta get to these comments. Who did she blow to get into UCLA? Now, does that imply she's not intelligent? Have you walked in her shoes? Who are you to say that? There's this stigma, bias against her, and all she's doing is speaking the truth. I had basically written something. I said, I admire your honesty, beliefs, and convictions, and encourage you to speak to the truth in the face of ridicule, ignorance, judgmental stupidity of people. It's the reactionaries. They react with bias, and they don't think about their own conduct. They love to point the finger at other people. They don't know their own faults. I don't believe in typing to communicate. I believe video, voice, face-to-face is the best way to get your points across. I had to get this out to have my 2 cents. Please read all the comments I made on these movies. I'm going to turn on the movie. Is there a lot to cover?
So she decided to go off on a rant. This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by FreshBooks.com. If you want to use an awesome free invoicing service and enter a chance to win a free birthday cake, go to FreshBooks.com. I'm not kidding.
I don't agree with these two hosts.
This video features a UCLA business major by the name of Alexandra Wallace.
Most of it I don't agree with.
She is quite upset at the Asians in the library, so she decided to go off on a rant on YouTube. Let's check out whether or not her rant is warranted.
Okay, so here at UCLA, it's finals week. So we know that I'm not the most politically correct person, so don't take this offensively. I don't mean it towards any of my friends. I mean it towards...
Now, let's just stop right there. I have a quotation about political correctness. And I quote the great Charlton Heston. Political correctness is just tyranny with manners. Popularity is history's pocket change. Courage is history's true currency. October 4th, 1923 to April 5th, 2008 is when he died. Image is faulty. Image is to stop the reactionaries, the people that want to react and want to label you bad and want to point their little snotty finger at you and tell you X, Y, and Z, everything they're wrong about you. Even when you're correct, you're not correct. When you're wrong, you're definitely wrong. But when you're correct, they don't acknowledge it and you're not correct.
Random people that I don't even know in the library. So, you guys are not the problem. The problem is...
Now, she just made a smacking sound on her lip, and she's complaining about noise in the library. Now, she's kind of ignorant to that. I have to give credit where credit's due. Being sensitive to noise myself bothers me. noises, when you hear whistling, smacking a lip, tapping your feet, it bothers a lot of people. I've had a cop tell me it bothers them. So-called normal people. Okay? I could spend all year talking about this. I don't want to make this movie 5 hours long.
These hordes of Asian people that UCLA accepts into our school every single year, which is fine. But if you're going to come to UCLA, then use American manners. So it used to really bug me, but it doesn't bother me anymore.
See, she just made that noise again, and then when she says it's really bugging her, yeah, after a while, if you can't do anything about something, you just gotta deal with it. Sometimes you just gotta ignore it because you can't fix it or confront the person that's doing it or dealing with it.
Fact that all the Asian people that live in all the apartments around me, their moms and their brothers and their sisters and their grandmas and their grandpas and their cousins and everybody that they know that they brought along from Asia with them comes here on the weekends to do their laundry, buy their groceries, and cook their food for them.
That's pretty common that I've seen in my own family. You can't be self-reliant when you're depending on your family. She's correct. I have nothing against this statement because all she's doing is telling the truth. That's what happens. I don't have anything nice to say. Credit where credit's due, but I don't have anything nice to say about my own culture. The Chinese culture is one of the most oppressive, apathetic, unemotional, unempathy, no empathy, nonchalant attitudes there ever was, and that's wrong. And so Asians are good at math? Not me. Yeah. Where's the stereotype there? There is no... Stereotypes can be true, but not in my case. You can't clump a whole group of people. We're a slave to our culture. We're a slave to who we were, the culture we were at. I'm so passionate about these beliefs because I know them to be true. We can't be who we really are because we look the way we look, are slave to our culture. Now, I'm going to get to these comments in a minute.
It's seriously without fail. You will always see old Asian people running around this apartment complex every weekend. That's what they do. They don't teach their kids.
My own mother can't even communicate with me. I can't even carry on a simple conversation. I go, hello, how are you? She won't understand me because she didn't teach me my own language. And she speaks half English and half Chinese, which is wrong. It messes with your brain with trying to think two different cultures. I had to live through that my entire life.
It's to fend for themselves.
Yeah, they can't fend for themselves. I can't. I've had a hard time in my life.
Next point.
I've had a hard time in my life because I couldn't take care of myself at certain times in my life because I didn't get the skill set from my parents to learn Chinese or to do certain things, manage finances, and certain things in my life. She is correct in that. And probably more so than you think. Probably 80 or 90%. I don't have the statistics, but based on first-hand experience in course of conversation and word of mouth, I know she's more correct than not correct. With a lot of people, I mean. Then based on the amount of people, if you take a poll.
Hi. In America, we do not talk on our cell phones in the library. Where every 5 minutes, I will be, okay, not 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's just rude. Has nothing to do with race, nothing to do with anything else. It's just rude. Be on your freaking phone, talking. When somebody's trying to do something, you're thoughtless. You're thoughtless and you're careless. She is correct. Has nothing to do with race. You stupid ignorant. You stupid ignorant. These my own people. You stupid ignorant Vietnamese. You Chinese people. And you want to call her out? You want to ridicule this woman? You want to call her out for being a racist? She's not a racist. She's telling the truth. A bigot and a racist, they have something against a person because the way they look. Nothing in there indicates she's says anything based on their looks, that she doesn't like their looks. She even said she has Asian friends.
Say like 15 minutes. I'll be like deep into my studying, into my political science theories and arguments and all that stuff, getting it all down, like typing away furiously, blah, blah, blah.
Doubt it.
And then all of a sudden, when I'm about to like reach an epiphany, over here from somewhere, oh, ching chong ling long ting tong. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? In the middle of finals week. So being the polite, nice American girl that my mama raised me to be, I kind of just gave him what anybody...
I have to say, people, certain other girls, Chinese women, are some of the rudest women I've ever met in my life. She's partly correct in that. But she just made that sound with her teeth for the third time. You know, and that's ignorance. This is what happens when you're ignorant. And you don't know all the angles of the situation. You don't know what you're talking about. You can act like you know what you're talking about. Know what you're talking about.
Else would
Get
do that
it?
kind of like, you know, it's got its library, like we're trying to study things. And then it's...
When somebody does you wrong, when somebody hurts you with their conduct and with their actions, you have a right to be passionate. You have a right to speak up. There's nothing mental or wrong about it. You have a right to call them out. You have the right to try to make them see the error of their ways in the light.
Same thing 5 minutes later. But it's somebody else, you know. I swear they're going through their whole families, just checking on everybody from the tsunami thing. I mean, I know, okay, that sounds horrible. Like, I feel bad for all people affected by the tsunami. But if you're going to go call your address book, like, you might as well go outside because...
Yeah, go outside. It doesn't matter what the issue is. You can't hurt somebody, because you have an emergency. Okay, maybe you have an emergency, you got to call 911. You got to call right then and there. But this isn't an emergency. You want to make a bunch of phone calls, regardless of what it is. Go outside and stop disturbing people, especially when you're doing something important like studying, trying to pass a grade, to pass a class. She's correct. You can't spin that any other way. You can't say she's a racist for saying that. That's the truth. The truth. This is the truth. Whether you like it or not, tough cookies. It's the truth. She's correct.
Because if something is wrong, you might really freak out if you're in the library and everybody's quiet. Like, you seriously should go outside if you're going to do that. So...
Doesn't matter how she sounds. Doesn't matter if she sounds like she's overprivileged. Have you lived in her shoes? Do you know if she gets everything for free? Somebody made a comment on her before about that. She's obviously sucking some lecturers' dicks. Her tits don't even make up for this shit. You know, these crude remarks. Who? She's a bimbo. How the F is she in college? Because she sounds like one? Doesn't make her one. It is. It's not quack like a dog, quack like a duck, act like a duck, and you're a duck. No. You can't judge a book by its cover. I have so much to say on these comments because for every other jerk, rude, crude, ignorant, smug, stupid comment, they have the intelligence. They don't have the intelligence to fill an atom. There's somebody next to take their place. There's thousands of others to take their place because they all think alike, stupid alike. All stupid people think and act stupid alike. It's been recognized and proven because I've seen it.
Thanks for listening. That was my rant. Even if you're not Asian, you really shouldn't be on your cell phone in the library. But I've just never seen that happen before. So, thank you for listening.
She did it again.
And have a nice
That's the
day.
only fault right there.
How did this girl get accepted to UCLA? I do not understand.
What kind of comment is that? Basing it because she's telling the truth and you don't like it because you think she's racist and that makes her dumb? No. Wrong, host. Wrong. This woman is wrong.
Like, sometimes they have, like, their family members.
It's not how she sounds. It's not what she says and how she says it. It's what she says. It's not how she's sounding. It's what she's saying. Don't look at the image. Look at what she's saying. It's true. Everything she says is true.
Come to the apartment complex. Like, over the weekend, the families, like, visit the college.
You know, when people invade somebody's space and hang around them and change their environment, it is kind of rude. You're there all the time doing what the heck you want without regard to how you affect other people. That is rude. People need their space, especially when they're where they live. They want a certain amount of privacy and space. so they're not affected by other people. Her point is somewhat valid. I mean, she's annoyed by these things. You know, I can kind of see that. Okay? I have a lot, I'm just on the tip of my iceberg as to what I need to say on here. Because she's annoyed because the cultural differences. Because people live a certain way. You know, the whole Asian culture tortures animals. They're still a barbaric culture. The Chinese culture, they're still a barbaric culture. It's right there in proof. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that. You know, they torture animals in China. And I'm a vegetarian. I was a vegan, and I became a vegetarian. I have to get back to being a vegan. But this is wrong. The whole culture is barbaric. And she's seeing that, the way they conduct themselves. You don't get it? She makes some valid points. A lot of them.
It like doesn't make any sense. And all of a sudden they're cooking and walking around, and I just don't understand it. And then they call their family to check on the tsunami victims. Who does that? Do it somewhere else.
Well, tsunami is very important. You gotta call. You gotta make some calls. She might be a little out of line there, but she doesn't understand the cultural differences. And frankly, I don't either. I don't either because I'm an outcast. I feel like an outcast. And who's to blame? It's the Asian culture and the family that put me in this position. They put me in this position. My family didn't teach me my own language. This is what you get. What do you expect you're going to get? Being kind? I'm the most kind person you're ever going to meet on here. I guarantee it. You know? I can almost say I bet my life on it. You're probably never going to see as much kind of person as I am. Why would I be wasting my time on here? Am I wasting my time trying to educate wisdom to people that aren't wise and they don't have the brain power or the matter in their head to understand? There's some people like that. It's sad. Because you're just spinning your wheels and wasting your time trying to give them intelligence and wisdom. Why do you think I'm on here? I read something about light workers. And I believe I was put on this planet to be put on this planet is educate wisdom into ignorance and stupidity and bigots and haters and bullies.
I want to listen to that.
There's more to it.
Oh my god.
Okay. No. That was
Here's this guy.
Okay. Because the entire irony of this has escaped her. He says that she
Awesome. Yeah, because she spoke the truth, and it's kind of entertaining.
has good manners, and the problem with these Asians is that they don't have any manners. And that she...
I can say a lot of Asian women, more Asian women than guys, have no manners. I was at a Kinko's one time, and this guy kept disturbing me with his keys, rattling his keys. And it was another Asian guy right next to me, and he sat right next to me too. And I asked him to stop, and then he wanted to fight me and hit me. Because I'm disturbed by something, I just want to be left alone to do what I'm thinking. A lot of these younger Asian guys, young, dumb, full of cum, young, dumb, full of cocky arrogance, they have no fucking clue about manners. They have no damn freaking clue about manners. She's correct.
She was raised by her mom to be a polite American girl.
She is pretty polite. Being polite is different views. There's different versions of being polite, different definitions. Being polite is just being honest. She's honest. That's part of politeness. No mind games, no pranks, no player games, no stupidity.
And saying things like, I guess if you're going to check on that tsunami thing, okay, but, do it outside.
Yeah.
Is that correct manners? To be like, oh, whatever on the tsunami thing? Is it correct manners to do a video where you disrespect a...
Not everybody's perfect. We all have our faults. She's not a racist. That's one major thing right there.
entire culture, an entire ethnicity? How is that?
People reacted to it. It's on them to take it as a racist, but she's actually not a racist. She might have a little bit of slight bad manners in one or two of the comments. But that's just human nature. We're all entitled to make mistakes because we're human. We're expected to make mistakes because nobody's perfect. Like one TV show, are you perfect? I'm not perfect. Are you perfect? You know anybody is perfect? No. That was in that one of the episodes of Restaurant Impossible.
In any way polite.
Yeah.
And this Second of all, Anna, you couldn't be more right. Jesus, Lord mercy, how did she get into college, let alone UCLA? She says, like, I'm not, most people know I'm not super politically correct, but don't take this offensively. No.
You're making fun of her instead of critiquing what she said. That's wrong. You critique what she says. Has she lied? No. Is she telling the truth? Yes. Has she brought out problems in society or social problems? Yes. Has she pranked anybody? No. Is she a hater? No. Okay? There's a bunch of... I could go on.
And she's wearing that outfit, and she's like, okay, I want you to take...
So what if what she's wearing? It doesn't matter what she's wearing. There's a quote on this. Well, I made my own quote. This is why I don't think highly of image or do image. Don't ridicule, persecute people based on image. Base your conclusion on people based on their actual character and facts. Her character is plain as day what she's saying. It's wasting time here. I gotta get to this quote. Find it in a minute.
Me really seriously, okay? I have very important racist things to say. And she's like, I guess, it's possible that it could be non-Asians talking on their cell phone in the library, even though I've never seen that. Really? You've never seen non-Asians ever be impolite? Only Asians are impolite? And all Asians, whether they grew up here or grew up somewhere else? And
yeah, well, it's a person there, individual person. So he's correct about that. But he's saying it in a smug way. He's not saying it in a diplomatic way. And that invalidates your point. If you're going to be smug and be a jerk about it and what you say, no matter if you're correct or not, you're still a jerk. Examine what he said, not who speaks. Error in proverb. Imagine if you didn't see the way I look. I'm just talking on YouTube. I could just hide my face like some of these people, but I don't play that game. I'm real. There's no fakeness here. This is not a prank or a joke. I hate pranksters.
She goes over the top with the Asian imitation. How can she not realize what a disaster that video?
That's the way I don't speak my own language. And I was at a buffet one time, and these Hispanic women was laughing at the guy on the megaphone talking in the speaker in the restaurant. Yeah, it's funny, but it's sad because you don't know your own language. And I should have brought it to their attention. I was just talking about this with somebody. It's funny. That's Rosie O'Donnell made impression. That's the way a lot of Chinese people or Vietnamese people sound. She made a pretty accurate impression. And it is kind of annoying, being that I don't speak my own language. I'm an Asian person telling you the way Asians sound are annoying. What's more annoying is this Asian guy sounding like he's African-American gangbanger, gangster, rapper. And he's a young Asian guy. I said to him, you're fake. You're fake. If people might take you more seriously if you just act real. It's like these Asian girls dyeing their hair trying to look white. You're not white. You think I want to sound white? No. If I was in Russia or Germany, I'd be speaking Russian. If I was in Sweden, I'd be speaking Swedish. I am who I am inside, not what I sound like outside. Because I'm a slave to my culture. I'm a slave. I'm not Americanized Asian. I hate that terminology. I don't ever want to be labeled that. I'm an individual. I'm an individual person. With individual wise beliefs.
When I was watching that video, I thought to myself, maybe it was just a massive lapse of judgment. But no, you're totally right. She completely goes over the top. She not only just makes a blanket statements about all of the Asians in UCLA. She goes over the top by doing the imitation of their language. She's just horrible. And the way she starts the video is disastrous too. She's like, I want to talk about the hordes of Asians that get accepted into UCLA, which is fine. No, it sounds like someone's player hating. Okay, you know what?
You're making it more than it is. You're just can't get the word for it. You're just making it sound like she's intentionally trying to be like that. No, that's just the way she talks. That's one aspect of it. One major aspect.